Welcome to Stop the Madness. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot. Thank you so much once again for joining us. Of course, I'm here with my co-host, Isaac Cotto.
In the building.
And we are back with another great video for you guys. But before we get started, make sure you like the video, share the video, comment on the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel because we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers.
3K, the magic number.
Yes. What are we talking about today?
Your boy has been pretty busy lately.
Really?
So, Trump went ahead won the election, and he said he was going to do certain things, and now he's trying to put out some serious content about his plans come January. So we got one here that I think is pretty interesting.
All right, let's check it out.
Check it out.
Joe Biden is running a nonstop conveyor belt importing illegal aliens from all over the world into our country, and the Biden Department of Homeland Security is abusing its so-called parole authority to give them more governmental benefits than many law-abiding citizens, including our vets. Our vets are being taken.
All right, real quick, just on the immigration side. So, under the Biden administration, they allowed a lot of people to apply for advanced parole. So you have people with family, say in Venezuela, they submitted applications and basically got permission to bring these people over for a certain amount of period, and they get a work permit while they're here. So this is not people that are just showing up to visit family. They like coming, getting a work permit, and a lot of people that are coming through the border are getting advanced paroles, basically permission to come through. And with that advanced parole, it has a big benefit, which is they get a work permit. So, of course, if you hear, show up in the U.S. and they're going to give you a work permit and you can go to work, that naturally is going to attract gazillions of people.
Oh, of course.
All right, let's go back to the video.
Taken advantage of. Our citizens are being taken advantage of. It's very unfair, and it's not going to stand. Under this horrendous abuse of power, millions of illegals will be eligible for billions and billions of dollars in welfare benefits, courtesy of you, the American taxpayer.
All right, let me stop there.
So not only is...
All right, just to be clear how welfare works, if you're not a citizen, you cannot get welfare. You cannot get food stamps. You can't get an EBT card. But your child does qualify for that benefit.
Okay.
Right? So I came, I'm undocumented, I have a kid, I don't have enough income. Guess what? My kid received these benefits, which include welfare, which is, food stamps, EBT card, and so on and so forth. Yep.
Crooked Joe surrendering your borders and your sovereignty. He is stealing your hard-earned money to redistribute it to people who have no business being in our country. They should be in their country. This is not sustainable by anybody, certainly not sustainable by us. The United States is trillions of dollars in debt, yet the radical left Democrats are illegally dispensing public benefits to illegals while they try to massively raise your taxes. The radical left communists hate you, and they hate our middle class. Under Biden's scheme, the benefits that will go to illegal aliens include food stamps, free health care, welfare checks, and a host of other programs, the likes of which you would not even believe. In addition, Biden is also giving illegal aliens work permits to take jobs away from American citizens.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Have children, not only do the...
Now this is where the bullshit propaganda comes in, right? All right, let's think about it.
Okay.
Like, everyone that has a work permit, from whatever country they come from, what job you think they're taking from anybody? Give me.
I mean, I think they're typically, they're doing like construction, they're doing flooring, they're doing hard labor jobs.
Yeah, I don't see a long line of bricklayers when I come out, like black, white dudes in a long line to be bricklayers. I don't see fucking guys at gas stations waiting around to get picked up to be, lay down some bricks.
Hey, listen, that's
right.
True.
So,
that's true.
But again, it's the propaganda part that bothers me, where it says they're taking away jobs. Hey, you want to work at Quick Trip and be a cashier?
Yeah, but here's the,
You know, you want to be a police officer? Like, they're taking away jobs. What jobs are they taking? They're doing the same jobs, but guess what? They're just doing it being documented.
yeah.
That's the only difference. I don't see any roof layer, you know, a line of roof layers saying like, "Hey, I can't be a roof because Mr. Lopez took my job." Like,
But
that doesn't happen.
But back in the day, the African Americans that were here, they used to do those jobs. They were the ones that were doing those type of hard labor
the
jobs.
Latinos have been here for a minute, bro. They didn't just show up.
I didn't say they just showed up, but I'm talking about if you look at the history of this country, back in like the 40s, 50s, 60s, black people were doing that job.
I can't talk to those ages.
Yeah.
I'm just as of right now.
But I agree with you as of now. Yeah,
when
you're not wrong about that.
Spit that propaganda. He's just trying to sell you the shiny car when he says shit like that, right?
Of course.
Yes, they're here undocumented. Yes, they get a work permit, and guess what? Now they can work at the hotel and clean rooms legally, and they can cut grass and actually get paperwork so they get a W-2. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're talking about.
Right. No, you're right.
Anyway. All right, let's go back to this video.
Children get automatic citizenship, but they unlock a trove of additional government benefits flowing to illegal immigrant households.
That's true.
In the meantime, our vets suffer and our citizens suffer. On day one of my new administration, we will shut down this travesty and defend the wealth of hardworking middle-class families. I will stop the outrageous abuse of parole authority. I will reinstate my action making illegals ineligible for public housing. We will terminate all work permits for illegal aliens, and I will demand that Congress send me a bill blocking any future president from abusing his power to distribute welfare benefits in this manner. It's all being paid for by the American taxpayer. Like automatic citizenship for children of illegal aliens, welfare is a gigantic magnet drawing people from all over the world. They want to come to the United States.
All right, that what he said right there, that makes total sense, right? So
break it down.
If again, you come from another country, you have nothing, but you have kids, and guess what? The kids qualify for all these benefits. Yes, that is a big sign to say, please come to our country. If you have your kids here, they're going to be taken care of, which in a lot of countries, that's not going to happen. So
now remember, this is immigration. I mean, he did over 10 years in immigration, so he knows immigration law.
Yes, that point is a valid point. What he just said, I agree.
Okay, is that? I think that's.
It. That was the end of the video. So it's interesting. I think he made a lot of valid points.
Yeah.
Yes, our welfare system, I do believe, is a advertisement for all those other nations that are struggling.
Right.
El Salvador's a good one where, guess what? They've turned things around over there, and you actually can make a living. You can actually live in peace and not be in danger. And guess what? You have a lot of El Salvadorians going back to that country. In fact, the law firm CPA is from El Salvador. Came here she's a U.S. citizen. Parents are U.S. citizens. They became residents and U.S. citizens, but they haven't visited El Salvador for over 20 years because it was so dangerous and all this. Right. They went back. Guess what? They're talking about buying real estate over there now. And so, yes, if your country is not in that kind of situation, welfare is a big advertisement. Come to the States and,
Yeah, but when Donald Trump says that, listen, it's not sustainable. There's a lot of people here. We can't handle all these people that are coming here.
1,000%.
And I agree. I mean, that contributes to the debt. I mean, obviously.
1,000%.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like you said, there is a lot of jobs that get done by immigrants. But it's a balance. Like, what do you do? And I think there should be stipulations on a case-by-case situation where if someone's been here for a long period of time and they're, contributing, and I think you even said they pay taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, at the end of the day, I think those folks put a year limit on it. Be like, look, if you've been here 10 years or longer.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules.
And you haven't committed felonies, you should be cool to stay.
Look,
you know what I mean?
I'm not even opposed. Oh, you're light.
Okay.
I'm not even opposed. Look, if they came in here in parentheses, illegally, undocumented, whatever you want to call it. Do not give them, just hold it. Just do not give them a path to citizenship. Let them become permanent residents. And as a permanent resident, if you commit certain crimes, you can lose your residency. You can lose that benefit and be deported. So guess what? If they meet those criteria of being here 10, 15, 20 years, have no criminal history, grant them residency. Don't give them citizenship. They don't have to become citizens.
Right.
Make them a permanent, a lifelong conditional resident. They get all the benefits of, they can buy houses, do this, but guess what? They can't vote.
Yeah.
If you're a permanent resident. And if you commit a crime and it's a felony and you're convicted, guess what? You just lost that benefit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's solutions to that problem because there are so many here. Now there's a large group that recent arrivals, I think that can be treated differently. If you just got here within the last 3 years or whatever, and you've committed any crimes, the one crime that they should exclude is driving without a license, because if you live in a rural spot, guess what? You got to drive, and you're not going to be licensed. A lot of times people get stopped for driving without a license.
Yeah, of course.
But there is a solution to that. I think it can be something that's feasible and it makes sense and satisfies the left and right.
Yeah.
Left would be happy because we're getting a lot of people out. I mean, I'm sorry, the right will be happy because we're getting a lot of people out.
Right.
The left will be happy. It's like, oh, okay, we got some people that's staying.
Right.
So
I mean, at the end of the day, the left is trying to, they're trying to deliver a let's be humane message, and that's what they're trying to stay within it, and that's fine, But at the end of the day, I don't think it's selfish to say we got to make sure our American citizens are good first.
For sure.
Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like any case. If you're in an airplane, and what do? Don't help anybody until you've secured your mask first, right?
Yep.
They don't say help the person even if they say do not help the person next to you until you have secured your mask and you see oxygen or you're actually breathing oxygen from the mask, right? Mm-hmm. Then you help somebody else. So it's like we got to make sure that we take care of the American citizens that are here first, and then we could help out, immigrants that come in here legally. But illegally they've preached it a million times that illegally is the issue. But like I said, if we can find a way to do a case-by-case situation where if it's somebody that's been here for a good amount of time, if you ask me, I would say 8 years or more, 10 years or more, mm-hmm. and hasn't committed any felonies, okay, they should be able to stay. Now, if you're somebody that's been here for 1 year, few months, you just got here, even 4 or 5 years, listen, you came in to the country illegally, that is a felony. And when they talk about separate,
it's not a felony, but okay.
Well, according to the border czar, I actually looked it up. Coming into the country illegally, not for asylum, coming in illegally without detection, that's a felony. Look it up. It's a felony. I promise you, it's a felony.
We'll play around with it. I'll do some research. Like I said. There's not a criminal statute for, like, federally, I guess there's some, it's civil law. Immigration is civil law. It's not criminal law. You understand what I'm saying? That's the easy spiel that all immigration.
Look at what it says.
You can't see it. You can't see
Unlawful entry. I can see it here.
Okay.
Unlawful entry is a felony.
Punishable.
Now, it says, yes, unlawful entry is a felony, and having a felony offense makes it extremely difficult to legally re-enter the United States, as a list of undocumented immigration, civil, and offenses and violation consequences are listed below, so they list them all. Now, again, it even states here it's code 1325. So
federal statute.
Yes, it's improper entry by an alien under 8 U.S. Code 1325 can result in criminal penalties, including imprisonment, depending on the circumstances and prior offenses. But it literally says crossing the border illegally is considered a felony under the U.S. law. So it is a felony. Hence the reason why you're committing a felony crime. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? So when they say that, coming in here illegally is...
and here you go. Although
Break it down.
immigration law is formally termed civil, Congress has progressively expanded the number of crimes that may render individual deportable. Immigration law, violations can lead to criminal prosecutions.
Okay.
But it is deemed civil law. But they codified some statutes that say it does become criminal. Fair enough.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of how can I say? There's a lot of rules in place that white line, black and white. Yes, it's a violation.
Right.
But again, I even heard Trump say it in an interview where he says we're going to focus on the criminals, and then they asked him, but what about those who haven't committed crime? Then he's like, then we got to think.
Yeah.
He didn't give a solution. He said, then we got to think about it.
Yeah.
Which to me, fair enough.
Yeah.
Just say you're going to think about it. You know what I mean?
That's
all. So, but no, the man, I think he's on the money when it comes to the welfare state. It's a problem for U.S. citizens that take advantage, that get incentivized. I don't even know if that's a word, but I've gone to Walmart plenty of times and I see a woman with 5 kids with 4 shopping carts of food, steak, this, that, the other, and pulls out an EBT card and everything is paid for. What incentive does she have to do anything but stay home and have kids?
100%.
Right? So it's a problem enough with U.S. citizens. So clearly is going to be a big advertisement for undocumented people to come into the States. What happened in New York was ridiculous. It was criminal what they did.
Yeah.
Right? That's criminal. Is it different for someone who has been here, who hasn't gotten any benefit, had a child, and guess what? The child went to school, this, that, the other, is a U.S. citizen and a productive member of society. Should we uproot that entire family? That's where you gotta kind of look. I've gone to criminal court plenty of times.
Yeah.
Where by the letter of the law, you should go to jail. But a judge has the power of discretion and to make what they feel is a just decision. Mm-hmm. There's a famous judge on YouTube that shows up all the time about traffic court. And he's like, what was going on? Oh, I was taking my dad. He can't walk. I was taking him and I was speeding and I was worried about my dad. And he's like, you know what? Don't worry about it. Mm. Right? The judge has that power. So yes, there is a sense where you can kind of, yes, did they break the law? Yeah. Who did they hurt? Whatever. You can make some kind of solution that seems reasonable. Yeah. Versus the hard line.
Yeah, I think they can have exceptions to the rule. I understand the law is the law, and a nation without laws is not really a nation. It's not really a country. So I understand that. And that's why I keep going back to the same point. They need to have it set up to where you have a case-by-case situation. I think if you do a case-by-case situation, I know it's difficult, but this whole damn immigration situation is difficult. I think it's not going to be a simple answer.
You literally, to me, you would have to divide, create some agency that deals only with those who have been here 10 years plus or 15 years plus, and another agency that deals with everybody else less than that. You know what I mean? Like, if you're under this 2, 3, 4 year time frame, like, hey, there's just certain rules that they're going to apply. But if you've been here 15 plus years and have no history, like, now this is a different agency you got to deal with to kind of figure out, because you just can't lump them all in together. It's just impossible. Like, you're not, they don't have, unless he does something super dramatic and Congress approves it, they don't have the manpower. It just doesn't exist. Yeah, when they say about asylum abuse, there's asylum abuse, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Right.
There are tons of people like, hey, just get here, apply for asylum, get your work permit. Your case is going to take 10 years. Shit, who knows what'll happen in 10 years? You might be a millionaire by then and you don't care. And you go back to Guatemala and you buy 4 houses and live like a king. Who gives a fuck, right? You already made your money.
Right.
I mean, I've had clients that file for asylum and their case has not been heard in 6, 7, 8 years. Opened a little food cart, ended up being 5 food carts. They started a little construction company. He's building 3 or 4 houses in Guatemala by the beach to rent them suckers out. And he says, he's like, abogado attorney, if they send me back, it's okay. I made my money. I'm good. I'm going to go back to over there. I'm going to live like a king.
Right.
No, hold on. Yes, a lot of people will file for asylum just for the opportunity to be here 5, 6, 7 years, make your money. And it's like, oh, they send me back.
Right.
In Venezuela right now, you can buy condos on the beach for 20, 30 grand. Right?
That's crazy.
You come here, work 5, 6, 7 years, start a car dealership, flipping cars, whatever, and you go back over there with $3, $4, $500,000. You're good. You're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So yes, there is asylum abuse. I can say without a doubt, and it's something they have to address.
Yeah. At the end of the day, all I know is that if people come in illegally, they're gonna get, and they commit crimes, because that's typically how it happens. They're gonna get deported.
Sure.
At the end of the day, when people, one of the things that I noticed, and I didn't get it, we might come back to this on another video, but Donald Trump, because his whole campaign he brought up immigration a lot.
Yes.
He talked about
good selling point.
It was he talked about how many people came into the country illegally, which was about 12 million. So when you listen to his immigration pitch, we're going to have mass deportation and all this stuff, right? People are like they're like, oh my God, like this is inhumane, blah, 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 right? But when Obama was in office, they even called him the deporter in chief. But because Obama deported 3 million people, which is the most by any president in history of our country, right? The most. Trump didn't do that in 2016. Didn't even do the amount that Obama did. So hold on. I know you're about to jump in. But my point is, nobody had a problem because Obama wasn't pitching it. He wasn't promoting it. He wasn't talking about it as much as Trump. Trump is really making it a big deal. Where Obama was like, zip it. I'm going to just do it. When the numbers come out, they come out. 3 million people. So it's like, dang. Like, all right, how come nobody had a problem when Obama was deporting people, but they gonna have a problem when Trump does it? That's crazy to me.
Let me give you a little secret on that.
Go ahead.
All right. When you go to immigration court and you take your client to court and you've tried everything, there's no solution. There's no application you can submit to immigration court that will allow this person to stay in the country. They don't qualify asylum, this, that, the other. At the end of the day, you kind of just give up the ghost and say, yeah, there's nothing here. And the judge says, okay, Mr. Smith, or whatever your last name is, we're issuing you a deportation order. Counsel, you have anything to add? No, this, that, your current address. Here you go. Here's your deportation order. And you know what happens? They get in the car and they go home. There's no enforcement arms sitting in the courtroom saying, okay, turn around, go into custody, they're going to put you on a plane. No. There's millions of people here that have deportation orders. Yeah. Now, if they get caught again, if they get caught by immigration again, then you're not getting out. Now they're going to keep you in ICE custody, and then they're going to put you on a plane and get you out. But people get deportation orders every day.
So they don't go.
That doesn't mean nothing.
So they don't get deported on the first try. It's on the second or third.
Millions of people. There's voluntary departure, which is like a deportation, but you voluntarily go back, so you don't have a deportation under your name. So if something happens and you qualify and you can come back, no problem. You didn't violate. You didn't get a deportation. But there's millions and millions of people who get deportation orders, and it's like, hey, don't worry. If there's nothing else to do, you're going to get a deportation order. You probably just need to move, get a different address, and just don't get caught no more. And that's it. And people will go years working under the table or just get whatever company, take their false paperwork and give them a check. And they're very careful when they drive, or they have now their adult son that can drive. Hey, hijo, take me to work, whatever. And they're here. Because Obama was the deporter in chief, two things. One, he had a priority, enforcement priority. if you got a felony and you got arrested and you're selling cocaine, and wherever you live, 287G here in Georgia was 287G is basically what New York City doesn't want to do.
I had a family member that happened to.
The county, the local government has an agreement with ICE that says, hey, if we detain someone through a very cursory investigation deemed as undocumented, they basically get stamped as with an immigration detainer. Immigration has 2 days to come pick this person up. Okay. But if it's a felony, you're not getting out. Immigration picks you up. You go in front of a judge. And it's like, hey, you're trying to sell cocaine. They're not going to give you a bond to get out from immigration custody. You're going to get a deportation order.
As they shouldn't.
And they send you back. No problem. Those are easy. Boom. So felonies, assaults, robberies, the other, those people wouldn't, get out of jail.
Right.
A no license case, hey, they do get arrested. They would go to immigration court, right? They pay and they say, hey, judge, they have no history. It's just a no license. Okay, pay a $10,000 bond. They pay the bond, and now they're out of immigration custody, and they have an immigration case that's going to take years. And at the end of that case, they get a deportation order. Congratulations, Obama. You got another deportation under your name. But that doesn't mean they physically get on a plane or car and go back.
Okay.
They stay in country. But Obama at least set out priorities. Like, you don't hear Trump is like, man, people say, hey, we're going to start with all the criminals. If you're a felony, if you got a DUI, this, that, the other, you're gone. You're not going to be released from custody. You're out of here. But then there's a whole bunch of other people that haven't committed any crime.
Right.
They've been here and, and so then the thought is like, oh, we're going to send people, knocking down doors to break into your house and pull you out. Right. That is the rhetoric that causes a lot of fear. And then you have a woman who's got a kid, gets raped in the apartment complex, doesn't call the cops because the cops are going to show up and ask her questions about immigration. Oh, you're not documented. And so now you create this environment where there's fear of the police. They want my husband is beating the shit out of me, but I ain't calling the cops because I ain't got papers.
Right.
So it creates this whole other environment that are residual effects of certain policies. So it's things to consider. There's no easy solution, but those are things a lot of people don't see. Right? Yeah. You go to these trailer parks, women getting assaulted. They don't call the cops? Ain't nobody calling the cops.
No, because they don't want to get deported. They're afraid they're gonna get deported.
You're gonna leave I didn't commit a crime. I got my ass beat. I got a 2-year-old. No, I'm not calling the cops because they're gonna take me and what's gonna happen with my 2-year-old. I got no other family here. No, nobody's gonna call the cops.
Well, of course not.
So, you create those are the scenarios that you don't hear a lot. They don't talk about those scenarios, but it does happen.
Well, we kind of beat that one down.
No, it's immigration is a hot topic,
and it's your field for a very, very long time.
Look, I let me be clear. I agree the border needs to be fixed, but there's a lot of scenarios that a lot of people don't see every day that I think should be brought to light, and it's something to consider.
No doubt. Hey, let us know what you guys think.
Yes.
We would love to
hear subscribe, comment, disagree. Let us know. We see y'all next week. Peace. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and click here. If you want to see more videos like this, click here.